Hi, all, and thanks for tuning in. I've got the pleasure here today to be able to talk with Jess, who is the owner of the Shipibo Market, which is a online store that sells fair trade goods from the Shipibo people in based out in Peru in the Amazon, selling their artwork and some herbal medicines as well, I believe.
Yes,
So this is a great pleasure, and thank you for joining me, Jess.
thank you so much for having me on. It's really nice to be here.
Great. No, it's a pleasure to have you on. Um, I guess I want to get this started by kind of just a general question about how you got involved with selling these and with the Shipipo people and so on, because you're based in the UK, and
Yes,
so that's kind of a long way to do it.
yes.
So yeah, I don't know. How did you get involved?
Well, I started working with the medicine back in 2012, at the end of 2012, and then maybe about 2 years into that journey, my partner at the time, he was doing some training with the medicine as well. And basically we just had a baby together, and he was sort of finishing off his training, and he was staying with his Shipibo family, and I couldn't go obviously because I had the little one. But
Yeah,
while he was there, they were like asking him to sell the stuff, and it wasn't really the kind of thing that he was able to do at that moment. So then they asked me if I would do it, and at the time it was just one Shipibo family. But over the course of the year, I started working with other Shipibo families, and then I started working with a Shipibo association up in Pucallpa, and now I work with lots of different Indigenous communities across South America. So that's basically how it got started.
wow, that's an interesting origin story, and yeah, so I'm also like the sales, like it's how I'm kind of curious on how the procurement of these goods, like you mentioned that you're connected with a lot of organizations that work with this, and it's things like fair trade and so on are always an issue. You want to make sure that everything is ethically procured, and that the artisans are getting paid well. And so I'm curious about that process, and about the procurement of the articles, and yeah.
Well, I think if you're buying directly from the tribes, it's better. Like there's no
Hmm.
middleman or anything like that. So I always deal with people direct, and I don't barter. I never ever barter. I always whatever price they're saying is what
Yeah,
price I'll happily pay for anything. Yeah, I never ever try
yeah.
and like get them to give me stuff cheaper. So that's like really important for me. Sorry, I've got a dog and she's just decided that now is a great time to play. Hello, little one. Yes, sorry.
Uh, no, that's okay. Dogs are always fun.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, okay. So that's yeah, I think that's great. And the um yeah, so you just try to order from them directly. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I order from them directly, and then maybe every couple of months I'll get a package sent from them, and then it comes to me here, and I distribute it from there.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. And I'm then, so in addition to that, being based in the UK, I am curious about the uh the market in Europe. Like it's part of me could see that it would be really popular because, the exoticism from the new world, stuff like that. But yeah, so like, is it popular to sell indigenous American goods in Europe? Is there a large
Yeah,
market there? Okay.
yeah. So all of my customers they're actually worldwide. I don't. The dog is deciding to kick my laptop on the floor now. Hang on, let me just get her on my lap. Sorry. Well, name's May, and sometimes I call her Mayhem for short because she's just causes mayhem. Look at her.
Oh, what a cutie.
She's so lovely. Right. So I've forgotten the question now after all that. Sorry, what did you just ask me?
The market, the European
Oh yeah, the
market.
market. Yeah. So all my customers are worldwide. I obviously I'm in the UK, so predominantly the customers are coming from Europe. But what I've seen over the years is the rise in plant medicine work and indigenous medicines over in the West. So with that, people are obviously becoming aware of different things that are available, and they're wanting to try different stuff. You know, they're wanting to try different things. Like one of the things I sell is dragon's blood, and it's amazing for. It's an antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal, collagen in it, so it's excellent for the skin and aging. You know, so there's all these different things that offer like teas and different stuff. So I think people are just, especially in the current climate that we're in, you know, with everything that's been going on with COVID, people are really now like looking at alternative stuff a lot more, about boosting their immunity and things like that. So yeah, the stuff is popular, even though a lot of the stuff maybe people haven't heard of. I will write articles and bits and pieces so people can understand what it is that I have.
Yeah. And so then, you know, the medicine aspects, obviously, that's a big part of what you do. And you know, I'm curious
Yes.
then about, you know, I don't know, just like a general explanation of you know, like some examples, or you know, like how it can be used and so on. Because as you
I'm
say,
sorry,
you know,
you've
like
gone
it is.
really quiet. I can't hear you at
Oh,
all. I don't know what is going on.
testing. Can you hear me a bit better?
Like, it's so quiet. Sorry. I don't know why I can't.
It's okay, because you actually did the same thing a couple of seconds
Oh,
ago, but then
there,
it
there,
fixed
there, there.
itself.
It's back.
Okay.
I just pressed a few buttons.
Okay.
I think when the dog knocked my phone, it must have switched. Sorry, could you repeat that again?
It's okay. I'm kind of curious if you could, like, I don't know, just give a general, um, like an a introductionary, you know, idea of, you know, some of these types of medicines and what they can do and so on. Because I do, as you're saying, you know, like with COVID, it's, you know, people are really looking for ways to be able to boost their immune systems and to be able to
Yeah,
stay healthy. And
yeah,
I'm curious that the role that these can play in that.
Yeah, so like I said, there's already I've already mentioned dragon's blood. That is amazing. It's got more antioxidants in than vitamin E and C. It's just one of these things that you can put inside and outside of the body. So no matter what you've got, look, the dog is actually savage at me. Can we just pause this 1 second? I'm gonna have to put her in
Sure,
the other room. She's
sure.
biting me. Honestly, never work with children or dogs or animals.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I'll make the
Right.
concentrate a bit better now. She's not like ripping my arm to shreds.
No, that's okay.
Sorry, where
um, so yeah, about the medicines and like the
yeah.
role that they can play and so on. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so there's the dragon's blood, and then there's, I guess, mentioned the tea. So that's guayusa tea, and this comes from the Kishwas tribe in Ecuador, and
Okay.
it is full of antioxidants. It's got magnesium in it, so it's excellent for the heart. It's got this antioxidant effect on the whole system. It really boosts the immune system. So there's that, and then I sell things like osha root, which is like they call it bear root, and the reason they call it bear root is because bears love it. So they'll come out of hibernation and they'll eat all this osha root, and then because it like stimulates oxytocin in the body, which is the love hormone,
Yeah.
they then cuddle up together. Makes them cuddle up together, but it's like excellent for the lungs. Again, it's an antiviral. There's loads of things. I sell hapé, so I don't know if you know what hapé is. Do you know what hapé is?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
It's an indigenous snuff, so it's predominantly made of tobacco ash, which
Mm.
sounds like it would be really bad for you, but actually
Yeah.
the commercial tobacco that we know is bad for you, right? It's caked with
Right.
chemicals and it's been put through a process, but actual tobacco as a plant is actually very detoxifying on the system, which
Okay.
comes as a surprise to a lot of people because we only know about tobacco killing people. You know what I mean? It like causes
Yeah. Yeah.
cancer. That's what we get told, but as a plant it's actually very detoxifying. So I sell these they're basically snuffs, shamanic snuffs, and they're made with indigenous plants. So each tribe will have their own recipes. They'll have maybe many recipes. And so those are excellent for just purging the system. Like sometimes they'll make you vomit, they'll make you purge, which is an excellent release just to get anything out of your system. And then the sananga, which is like really, it's really powerful. Basically, it's eye drops. And you put it in the eye, you do 1 drop per eye, and it's like putting chili juice in the eyes. It's a big ask for people.
I mean, I love chilies, but I don't know if I'd want them in my eyes.
Yeah. No, it's amazing though. So basically the tribes use sananga for to keep their vision clear, right? So they believe that so basically all the different parts of your body store different emotions, and the eyes store traumas. So if you can imagine, like everything that we go through in our lives, the traumas that we experience maybe as children or as we grow up or whatever it is, and that all gets accumulated in the body and it gets stored in the eyes. So the tribes call this energy panema. And basically what the sananga does, it dissolves the panema, and the panema it has a really low vibrational energy to it. So it causes depression, anxiety, loads of different things like stress, insomnia, but physically it can go on to cause physical eye conditions such as astigmatism and glaucoma. So the sananga basically takes away the panema, and doesn't restore the vision, but it just takes the energy away that was maybe clouding the vision and things like that. So that is a really powerful one. I mean, I worked with that once a day for 30 days. I was diagnosed with an astigmatism in my right eye, and I literally was wearing glasses, right? But I did 30 days with sananga, and I haven't worn glasses since. This is maybe 2 years ago now. My vision is probably equal in both eyes now, which is amazing.
Wow.
I have things like that as well. I have lots of different things. I even have like ceremonial cacao, which is like coming from a tribal family as well.
Wow. Yeah. And so then to push this in, I think, very interesting direction. The kind of, do you want to weigh in on the debate then about traditional medicines like what you're talking about versus modern medicines? And because I know that a lot of modern medicine is based, of course, on these traditional medicines at its root, but it seems that a lot of modern medicine then tries to ignore those roots, and like doesn't look at its historical background, its medical background, so I don't know. Do you want to weigh in on that?
Yes, definitely. I totally agree. Pharmaceuticals, they're using plants. So the medicines that we have, all actually the ingredients that are like in there to do the job are from plants. I think there's something like 300,000 different medicines on the market at the minute that come from plants in the Amazon. So it is a thing, but obviously the FDA and such governing bodies can't patent. These people can't patent fruit, vegetables, or plants. So they're obviously making them into medicine, so they can. But yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer in nature provides everything that we need. In 2014, after 5 years of off and on pain, got diagnosed at the age of 32 with cervical spondylosis in my neck, which is arthritis. And at the time, I was given a really bleak diagnosis from the doctors. They told me that I was never going to get better, that I was only going to get worse. I mean, some days I was bedbound anyway. I couldn't sit, stand, lie down. I was in chronic pain 24/7. And according to the doctors, they were like, no, you're never going to get better. You're going to get worse. They wanted to give me some crazy operation where they were going to take out my vertebrae, exposing my spinal cord, and then they were going to make 2 discs from my bone in my hip and then fashion it all back together with metal. And they were like, if it works, it's only going to last 10 years. So I'm 41 in May, right? I would be facing this operation again in 3 years' time and for the rest of my life. And at the time, I was doing an event where I was getting speakers to come and give talks, and I booked this one guy, Clive DeCarl. He had cured his own arthritis 30 years previously. He couldn't even get up the stairs, right? He was in a really bad way, like worse than me. And I had a chat with him, and he was like, he gave me 3 things to take. He said, take magnesium chloride, sulfur, which is MSM, and high food grade vitamin C, like all organic.
Yeah.
And I bought from Ancient Purity. I've got everything. They just sell the vitamins and minerals as they are, with no bulking agents, no crap or anything
Right.
like maybe in some of the high street supplement company brands, the ones that are on the high
Right.
street. I didn't say the
Yeah.
names, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So so this is it, right? So I had chronic pain on and off for 5 years, 10 months. For the last 10 months up to the diagnosis, I was in pain every single day, right round the clock, right?
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks of implementing this protocol, I was back to normal, like it never happened. The thing is, right, I love, it's great that if we need the hospital, like if we get injured or something like that, modern medicine and the things that they can do there are
Yeah.
needed, right? I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
completely against it. However, what I've got a bit of an issue with is the doctors don't learn about nutrition at university. They learn about
Hmm.
medicine, right? So
Yeah.
they don't know about nutrition. And the thing is, Frederick, arthritis doesn't really exist. It's a name of it, it's a label given to a deficiency, a symptom of a deficiency.
Hmm.
Arthritis is a symptom
Yeah.
of a sulfur and magnesium deficiency. So once I'd given my body the sulfur and magnesium, it
Yeah.
cleared up. So to answer your question, I am fully on the alternative path when it comes to my health. If I get anything wrong with me, I will, I will always go to the alternative side first.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Yeah.
I had
That's
toothache. I had toothache at the beginning of the lockdown here,
yeah.
and it was so bad I literally had to take a painkiller. But that was the first painkiller I'd taken in 20 years. But they're there if you need them. Do you know what I mean? These
Right.
things. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I always think I'd rather have other things first.
Yeah. Yeah. Like doing what. Yeah. Try the things that make it fit for the situation. Make it fit for the situation. Go to where you need to go when you. Yeah. That
Yes.
makes a. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. 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 Um, and so I guess another aspect that I'd love to ask about is um, the sustainability, the environmentalism, and so on. Because a lot of we were talking about the big name, big pharma, and they do, as you say, a lot of their ingredients are from the Amazon. Uh, and so how does this affect the people's living there, the Shipibo people, the so on, that are seeing many of their plants get chopped down, to do this,
Yeah. I mean, this is
yeah.
happening a lot, actually. This is happening so much. People are going into the Amazon and taking so many things from it. It's not just the plants. They're going in there
Yeah.
for the rubber. They're going in there
Right.
for oil. The bribing the tribe, selling them the dream, and making out like it's going to be great for them. Like they're going to have all these opportunities and things like that. And then in reality, what's happening is they are destroying the place, and it's polluting the Amazon River. And it's just really bad. I think if as soon as the pharmaceutical industries or any industry that thinks they can get something out of the Amazon, they don't really care. They just care about money. So
Right.
it is something that really I would like to see stop, like an end put to that. You know what I mean? I would
Yeah.
really like to see that the Amazon
Yeah.
truly protected. But unfortunately, we have people in power who favor money over the environment.
Yeah. 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 I've got a good friend of mine from Brazil, and she's from northern Brazil, so in the Amazon area in Brazil, and it's really sad to hear, and with there's a lot of problems with the Brazilian government and not being able to maintain its portion of the Amazon, its large portion of the Amazon. Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So it's always rough to hear. Um, yeah. So I guess um, another aspect that I'd love to hear more about, is to slightly shift the topic, is to talk about the crafts, and I think that's such an interesting aspect of that, on the Shipibo market, that you run, the indigenous crafts.
Yeah.
Do you have you know stuff to say about that? Are there any interesting ones that you see consistently?
Yeah, so there's two things I want to say about this. So I'm going to tell you what they are in case I go off on a tangent, and then you can
Sure.
ask me. So the first thing I want to say is how some of the arts are dying out. And the second thing I want to say is about what, like, I want to go into a bit of detail about the art and what they actually mean, the patterns and stuff.
Okay.
So basically, with the Shipibo people specifically, right, I can't comment on other tribes because I don't know if this is happening, right? However, so traditionally the women do the tapestries, right? I don't know if you've seen have you ever drank ayahuasca, by the way? Have you drank
I've
it?
taken No, I haven't drank it, no. But
Okay.
I took a look at the website, and I saw some of the stuff that like some of the craft that you were showing there, that you were selling there.
Yeah, so the patterns that you see, the Shipibo patterns, right?
Yeah.
You actually see them when you drink medicine, when you drink ayahuasca.
Oh.
And what they are like the lines that connect everyone emotionally, that bond everyone together. But
Yeah.
also the Shipibos in their culture, the Shipibo people don't actually drink the medicine. It's the healer, the curandero, like the shaman, he will drink
Yeah.
and then diagnose you. And they straighten your lines. So when you look at the Shipibo patterns, that's what they're looking at, your personal lines.
Oh.
Right. So the patterns actually are songs. So the Shipibo people can read them and sing them like songs. So they're not just like pretty lines and pretty designs. They're actually
Yeah.
sacred ikaros that have been embroidered. Now, what's happening is the women, like I said, they are the ones that learn the tapestry and learn the embroidery. But what's happening is the younger generation have now been exposed to Facebook and Instagram and mobile phones in Western ways. So what's happening is they're not interested in learning the tapestry and the embroidery. They're not interested in learning it. So it is a dying art, basically. There's not enough young ones learning it. So eventually it's going to be. So that's why it's important for me just to get their artwork out there, you know what I mean? To show
Yeah.
people like this amazing, amazing art. And hopefully the younger generation will think there's some sort of career in it and come back to it
Yeah.
maybe. So it's
Yeah.
really important that we keep their trade going, because if the younger ones don't see that there's a career there, then they're never going to choose that as a job.
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah.
go and do something else. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That is interesting, though, about I mean, it's sad to hear, of course, and I think it's such a common thing around the world, but it's sad to hear that the younger generations are, turning away from it.
Yeah.
And have you been seeing, you've been selling these goods then, for, you said, since like 2012-ish? Is that right?
So I started this in 2016. So it'll
16.
be like, yeah,
16.
just
Okay.
over 4 years.
Have you started seeing some, younger people, in the tribe, in the Shavipo peoples, say, oh yeah, like, this can start work, that, like, I can do this?
I've seen, right, so the Shipibo organization that I work with in
Yeah.
Pucallpa, so Adelina, she's this amazing, amazing Shipibo lady, and she started with just 3 women working with her, and now she's got
Yeah.
50.
Wow.
So
That's pretty good.
yeah, no, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome because they now have work, and Adelina supplies to other people who are doing similar to me, and they've got a business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've all got a business. They've all got works, which is amazing.
Right.
That's half the battle. If they've got business coming in, then that is half the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've got trade,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 Setting up that pipeline. Yeah. Yeah. Um, and so then, thinking more about these organizations, um, do they contract out to them, or contract out isn't the right term, but do they work with other shops as well? Like, how widespread does the Shipipo, um, uh, you know, artwork stretch?
So yeah, they have. So Adelina has a shop as well. So she trades
Okay.
from my shop, but at the minute, because of COVID, There's no tourists. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, it's just been an absolute
Yeah.
nightmare over there. I mean, it's been a nightmare worldwide, but like the Peruvian government, they're not helping them, and they're literally just like, there's no tourists coming in, so they can't come in. They've got no passing trade or nothing like that. So it's even more important now, more than ever, to support them. You know, to support
Yeah.
all the tribes.
So I caught part of the you know, like the issues with the tourists and COVID and so on. And, you know, yeah, I can imagine that that is, you know, a big problem, because I know that that a lot of these shops and so on depend so much on that tourist trade coming in.
Mhm.
And, you know, now that it's been wiped out, it's sad to hear.
Yeah.
Um yeah. So um to slightly shift gears for a little bit, I'm also curious about your decision to include Bitcoin as a payment option on the on the website.
Yes. Do you know what? I should have got my finger out with this a long time before I did, but I'm so glad I've done it. I love Blockonomics, by the way. It's so easy to integrate. It literally saved my bacon. Because what happened was, right, so last December, well, actually 3 times last year, my payment processor deactivated my account. So I hopped from payment processor to payment processor, and each one of them just shut me down every single time. So it happened like November last year, and then I got it back up and running with a different company, and then they deactivated my account. Basically, they don't like the plant medicines. They consider them
Oh,
as drugs, even though they're not illegal, they're not psychoactive
yeah.
or anything like that. But they deactivated me on Christmas Day last year. And I just got it back up and running with you guys a couple of weeks ago. I don't know when it was now, like beginning of the month.
Yeah.
So I'm well
Yeah.
happy I've got that on there.
That's good. I'm glad that we could help out in that respect.
Yeah, you legends.
We certainly don't shut anything down. We don't
No.
shut anything down. That's an important tenet of our you know, contract with you, of, you know, like when you're, you know, like we don't shut it down. You know, it's your payment processor, your money. We just facilitate the transactions.
No, it's amazing, and I'm really glad I've got it on there. Now, as a result, I'm finally doing Bitcoin myself. It's great.
Well, that's great. That's great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got me
And a
on there.
good
Huh?
timing with the price jump that has happened over
Yes,
the
I
last couple of
know.
days.
I was watching that. Actually, I was like, go on. Jump more.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really came up,
yeah,
didn't it?
yeah, yeah. It's 23,000 this morning. So
What? Oh my
it's,
god.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So amazing. Yeah, man.
Shot
It's
right through
definitely the way
there.
to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's great, and I'm glad that you've gotten into Bitcoin, and I'm glad that we could help out. Um, and so to shift it back again to your mission, um, I'm curious about what you think about the future, and, you know, like oh, what you think about the future, and, you know, like where you want to continue going with this, and, you know, do you think that alternative medicines will be more ingrained in society?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only going to get popular. Oh, it's something. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your video's frozen. So
Ringing me? You mad? Sorry, I don't know what is going on there. Right, that's it. I'm back. I think.
you're still frozen, but maybe it'll
Yeah,
catch up.
maybe it'll do it. Yeah. So sorry, I missed all of the question that you asked me. Could you ask me
Oh
again?
no. Okay. Um, yeah. So the what you think about the future, and, you know, do you think that alternative medicines will, you know, start taking off more? Will COVID play a role in people turning to some alternative medicines for different things?
Yeah, I think so. I think people are getting to a point now where they're wanting to take health into their own hands more. So, and I think, like I said before, because of the explosion in the popularity of plant medicines and ayahuasca and things like that, it is really opening people up. You know, it's snowballing. A few years ago, no one knew what ayahuasca was. Like, maybe if I asked somebody like 7 years ago, no one knew what it was. Now
Yeah,
everyone knows about it or has heard about it or even done it. So, you know,
yeah,
it's something that's getting more and more popular. So I think with that, people are looking more to the other medicines the tribes have, not just the psychoactive ones. It's the
right.
ones of healing. And I think people, you know, regardless of what your views are of COVID, I think people are, you know, really starting to realize actually we need to be more self-sustainable, and we need to, you know, make sure that we can look out for ourselves and not just rely on the government to do that for us, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially when they're rushing
exactly.
out vaccines.
Yeah.
So rushing out vaccines, I think people are going to even more so uh, look towards other alternative methods. So I think it will
Mhm.
grow in popularity. I think it has. I mean, I've seen a massive spike in sales this year. Like, you know, I've seen a 40% increase. So, like, that says to me that people are
Yeah,
actually going, right,
yeah,
let's actually look towards other things. And I think as well,
yeah,
because people are getting such great results with some of the stuff they're using from me, I think that's actually helping as well. You know, people are telling their
yeah,
friends, and so things like that, like word of mouth, helps people to come to know about things. And yeah, so I think it will.
yeah. That's interesting. That's great. I think that um, people taking a look at different things, and it certainly helps with the sustainability compared to big pharma that can happen. But yeah, yeah, that's great. Um, and so I guess I'm afraid that start moving to wrap it up, I guess. But I would like to hear, do you have um, anything more that you want to add? Anything, like maybe a piece of advice that you want to give to listeners?
Piece of advice that I want to give to listeners:
Yeah,
drink ayahuasca.
drink ayahuasca.
That's probably the best advice I can give anyone. Drink ayahuasca, basically.
That's a good pithy saying. Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely take a look into it.
It's amazing and life changing.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, great. Well, I'm really glad that we got the chance to have this conversation. I think that I was really fascinated, and you know I think it's great to that you're providing a platform for the Shipibo people to be able to sell their goods in a free trade manner, in a fair trade manner, not free trade, fair trade. Um, and that I think that that's important, and there's a lot of voices that are there's a lot of voices that are unfortunately not able to express themselves enough, that
Mm.
they're silenced and so on. So I think that that's great. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely, man. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been really lovely to chat. And sorry about the dog and the people ringing me and all
That's
of that,
okay.
all of those
That's
interruptions.
okay. That's what Adobe Premiere Pro is for.
I get it. So amazing. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day now.
You too.